Hi guys, Assalamu alaikum. This is Arif. In this video, we are going to see the structure or surf of some Arabic words, and under that, we are going to see how the Arabic words change from their roots or jazr according to different scales or wazan. So let's go to our first slide. This is our first slide, and on this slide, right hand side column has given some scales, and according to those scales three different Arabic words change their forms on the left and three columns. So, for example, this is the first word Jaiz and Jaz. So, these are going to be working as the root words, and this is their third form. This Jaws is actually a nut as well, and but these are the three basic forms according to fail and noun, and according to these basic forms three letter words we are going to see how the different scales, according to different scales, their meanings change. So G's and J's are related to the permission or the permittance or permissibility of different things, or the allowance of the different things once you allow something. And this is the second word, and second word is actually haram. Haram is actually something which is like sacred. It is called a woman. It can be used as for a woman as well, but anything since the woman come under a sacred knot according to your marriage, so that's where they are getting used. But this haram means something which is like sacred. And then we have mana, and mana is also a three-lettered word, and it is a verb. Haram was a noun, but mana is something which is forbidden, or you prevent people from doing something, or you block something. So prevention, block, or forbidden, these things, I mean this thing has that meaning. And now we have from these forms we get file form, and that is Jaiz. And Jaiz is something which is like permissible. You give permission for that. And then we have Jaiza, and Jaiza is something which is like which you give as a reward. So it is like permitting something, and it is like giving as a reward. So in that sense the Jaiza is used. So this is the phyla form from file. And then we have from this mana, according to this file scale, we have mane, and mane is something which is like preventive, or which is like reluctant to do something. So like you are preventing yourself, you are reluctant to do something, so you are preventing or blocking yourself from doing something. Or it can be used as a deterrent as well, which is going to stop somebody else to do something, block somebody. And then we have this mafile scale. Mafile scale is going to make this haram into maharam, and maharam is again something which is like forbidden. So some relations, or the some relatives which are going to be like you can say sacred. So the sacred, so in the meanings of sacred, it is going to get you like there are some connections or some relations which are like sacred, and that is where it is going to get used. And then we have mamane, and mamane is again something which is like preventing, or it is going to prevent itself from doing something, or it is going to abstain, you can say. So that way it is going, since you are going to block yourself or abstain yourself, so in that sense it is going to get used. And then we have mafool form, and mafool, this mahroom comes from harama to mahroom, and mahroom is again once you are, something is going to be like uh, make something sacred, and something is going to get sacred. So in that sense it is going to get used. So something which is like becoming sacred, so in that sense we are going to use this thing. And then we have mamnoo, and mamnoo is something which is like from which thing you are going to stay away, you are going to prevent yourself, so that thing is going to be like mamnoo. So a thing from which you are going to stay away, abstain yourself, so that thing is going to call mamnoo. So you are going to prevent yourself or block yourself from doing that thing. And then we have fa'il form, fa'il object noun, and this is actually a harim. And harim is again a place which is like a sanctuary, or it is going to get used for like where your wives stay. Like you have multiple wives and there is a haram for that, and that harim you are going to use, but it means actually sanctuary, the place which is like a respectable place which has sanctity or sacredness. And then we have fa'il form again, and this adjective would come in the case of mana, and money would be again a thing which is going to be preventive. And then we have tafil form from fa'il. Tafil is noun, and it is going to make harim into tahrim. Tahrim is sacredness, you are going to sanctify something or make that thing sacred. And then we have tamni, and tamni is like prevention, so this is sacredness, this is prevention. And then we have fall form, amplifying noun, and this is going to make from this jaws we are going to get jawaz. Jawaz is like a like the permit, or like it is usually used for a passport, but it is like any kind of a permit which is going to give you permission from these root words. So since these all are related to permission or allowance. And then we have haram. Haram is again something which is like sacred, which is like very very sacred, like this is used in the case of Masjid al-Haram, so like very sacred mosque. So these all means actually they're sacred. And then we have fala. Fala is going to make mana into mana, and mana is again prevention, or like a blocking, so that kind of a thing it is going to get used. And since this form usually have a profession related to profession as well, so this is actually that thing which is going to be like that knowledge which is going to like in the case of diseases, how can you make yourself or your body that it is like immune, or it is becoming like preventive as far as the diseases are concerned, like no disease can enter in your body. So how can you make that prevention work, or that blocking, like you are not going to allow your any disease to come into your body. So that knowledge is actually called mana, or that profession or that skill is going to be like mana, which is going to make you your body resistive to the immunity or the prevention of the diseases. So in that sense it is going to get used. and then we have afal scale, and afal is going to make haram into ihram, and ihram is again something related to sacredness, although it is used for a clothing which you are going to use to do some sacred rituals, but this ihram is actually related to sacredness. And then we have if they all from afal, this is if they all form scale or wazan, and it is going to make ihram into ihtaram. So ihtaram is again something which is like respected or respectful, or in that sense. So these two are pretty much similar. So this is sacred, respectful. This is also sacred, respected. And then we have imtana. Imtana is again prevention or abstention. So in that sense we are going to use. And then we have Folan scale. This is a disturbance noun, and it is going to make haram into harman. Harman is again you are going to make something sacred. And then we have mufil scale, and mufil is a noun, and mufil this majaz, and majaz is again something like which is going to like allow something or permits, so it can be a premium as well, it can be a permit as well, and it can be a reward as well. So in that sense it is going to get used. And then we have mufil adjective. In the case of haram, it is going to make haram into muharram, and muharram is again something which is sacred, which is like respectable. And then we have muftail from mufil, and muftail is going to make mana into mumtane, and mumtane is somebody which is going to refrain itself, or which is going to block itself, his self or herself from doing something, or which is going to prevent his self or herself or themselves to do something. So this is that is mumtane. And then we have muftail form in the case of this muhtaram, and this is becoming the adjective, and muhtaram is like again which is like respected. And then we have afal. Afal is a verb, and afal is going to make jaz into ijaz. This jaz, from these three lettered words we are going to get all the scales. So from jaz we are going to get this ijaz. And what is ijaz? Ijaz is allowance or permittance. Once you permit something to do something, so it is a verb. And same way we have from mana, amna. Amna is like to prevent. So this is going to permit, this is going to prevent or block somebody, and this is going to allow. And then we have afela. Afela is going to be noun, and that is going to make ijaz into ijaza. And ijaza is some permission for a leave. Once you permit somebody to leave, or once you permit somebody to go for a vacation. So in those cases it is going to get used, but this is actually a permission, allowance to leave, to go to a leave. So that sense. And then from afela we have fela form. Fela is a noun, and it is going to make haram into hurmat. And hurmat is again something which is like sanctity, or like which is like sacredness. So in that sense. And then we have aftail form. Aftail form we are going to get from this aftail form, and aftail is going to make this amna into amtane, and amtane is again something like refraining, prevention, blocking, that sense. And then we have tafil. Tafil is again a verb. Tafil is going to make it the jaws into the jaws. The jaws is again which is like allowance, permittance, permissibility. The haram is sacredness. And then we have tamanna. Tamanna is again preventing. And then we have mutfail form. Mutfail is going to make the jaws into matjaws, and matjaws is something related to permissibility, or permit, like in the case of a marriage is also a permit. So in that sense it can be used as well in the case of a marriage or a married. So that is going to be a permit, since you are going to get a permit for your marriage. So in those sense these are going to get used. So now we can take a summary out of these, and remember this thing, that there is a difference between mana, haram, and these. Actually this is a different thing, but in the case of this and this, we have to be very careful that this is sacredness. This has nothing to do with forbiddenness. This is forbiddenness blocking or permitting something. So same way, from this we are going to get this, and we are going to get this, we are going to make this mamnoo, and from haram we are going to get mahroom. So mahroom is something different, mamnoo is something different. And same way, tamni is different, tahreem is different. Tahreem is going to be something related to sacredness. This is going to be something which is going to be like preventive, which is going to stop something from entering something. Like in the case of body, a disease, it is going to stop that disease. And same way haram, so this is different. Amana, this is different. But this all is related to permission. This is related to prevention. This is related to being sacredness. It has nothing to do with forbiddenness. This is related to forbiddenness. Once you are forbidding something, like you are forbidding your diseases to enter your body as well. So thank you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Have fun.